In the previous exercise, we modified the contents of both the files and the directory structure between one branch to another. Now, at some point when you're working with a branch, you're going to develop it to a point to where you want to take the changes made in that branch and then move them back into another branch, usually the master branch. This is done through a process called merging, and it is definitely one of the most powerful and complicated tasks in Git. So I am currently in my terminal window, and I'm on the Add Fonts branch. I can double check that, remember, by typing in Git branch. So yes, indeed, I am on Add Fonts. And you'll notice that I have the Finder window still open over there on the right-hand side. And I'm doing that so that we can physically see the changes of the merge when it occurs. Now, the first thing that you want to do when you decide to merge branches is to make sure that both of those branches are clean, meaning there are no pending changes or untracked files or modified files that needed to be staged and committed. You want a totally clean slate on both of them. So I'm going to run a git status on my add fonts. It's clean. Then I'm going to do a git checkout master. Now again, notice that the Finder window had updated and it removed the fonts directory, so I know that I'm on my master branch and I'm on the sort of earlier version of everything. I'm going to do a git status on that. Nothing changed here. Now keep in mind that in the last exercise, we changed these files considerably, but we were in the add fonts branch when we did that. Those changes weren't tracked in the master branch, so the master branch says, no, everything's good, we're ready to go. All right, so now we want to do a merge. Now, when you're doing a merge with this really, really basic merge that we're about to do, the branch that you're in is going to pull in the changes from the branch that you specify. So you sort of have to be on the branch that you want to receive the changes. So that's why we're on the master branch right now. So now I'm going to type in git space merge and then the name of the branch that I want to merge, in this case, add fonts. Now, keep in mind that both of these branches could have multiple commits. So maybe, you make 10 in one and 20 in the other. What's going to happen is it's going to take a look at the most common ancestor. So it's going to go all the way back to the most common ancestor where add fonts connected to the master branch. Now, the interesting thing here is we only have one. So there hasn't been any changes made to the master branch yet. So what we're going to get is we're going to get a merge that's referred to as a fast forward. If you hit return, you'll see that. So what's happened here, and if I scroll up, I can see all the changes that I've made here. So I did a fast forward. It says updating, and it's got the two commits. So these are the hashes that represent those two commits. It's doing what it calls a fast forward. Fast forward essentially means that the commit that is the current commit for add fonts is moved in front of the commit for the master branch, and then the head, which is the reference pointing to which commit is the current commit, moves forward to the new one. So really, we haven't merged changes as so much as we've placed a commit within this branch and just moved ahead to it because there weren't any changes. It's a very simple merge. It shows you, it gives a rundown of everything that's happened. And now if I do a git status, again, I'm on the master branch. Everything's fine. If we look over in the Finder window, we can see that the fonts directory is there now. So now the latest commit for add fonts and the latest commit for the master are exactly the same because those changes have been merged in. Now, for basic projects, you're probably going to use a really simple basic merge like this one most of the time. I know I find myself sort of developing in a side branch, leaving the master alone. If I like the changes that I made, just moving them back in. I don't do a whole lot of dual development. However, merging is really complicated, and it can change dramatically based on the number of branches that you have involved and what type of commits and how many commits have been made since the branching occurred. So in order to understand merging a little bit more thoroughly, in the next exercise, we're going to do another merge that's a little bit more complicated than this one.